welcome to my channel. Thank you for pressing play. It is populated on YouTube. I'm super glad to have you. Thank you for coming. Before we go on, I want to say a big thank you to everybody that commented, shared and responded to my last video. The constructive criticism and all the comments and everything has been amazing, and I will do my best to work on everything that was said. So thank you so much for the feedback, and don't forget to subscribe. So today we're going to be talking about, as you can see, phone obsession and social media fasting. Now let me begin by sharing my experience. So like around last year or the year before, I was really attached to my phone, and I think it would be safe to call it a phone obsession because I used to do everything on my phone. I used to write to-do list, normal stuff. I used to read materials on my phone. Like my friends would buy hard copy materials and I would just snap it and read it on my phone. I used to, record classes with my phone. I used to snap people's notes. I used to watch series on my phone instead of on my laptop. I used to do almost everything on my phone, and it became very addictive. I mean, I wouldn't have data, and then I would be fiddling with my phone. I would be playing games, or I would open calculator, or I'll just be going through the apps that are there. I'll just pick the phone and be looking at it. Like, it was that bad. But then the first my deliverance, hey this is the third time. My deliverance, this is a sign. It's a sign that you drop the phone. Anyway, my deliverance from the whole phone obsession thing was gradual. It was a gradual process. The first time the phone got bad, the battery swelled up and I had to drop it. It was so hard. Like, to show you how bad it was so hard. I had to use my mom's iPad for my social media like Instagram, Snapchat and whatnot. Okay, fine. That season passed and I survived. I got a new phone and then they stole it, and I was like, what am I gonna do? But then I got through that as well, and gradually the hold was getting, it was getting lesser. And then the third one, the phone battery was bad, and I was like, you know what, God, I think this is a sign. I'm sure God would have just been like, okay, her phone battery is bad. Let's see whether she will have time for me now. Like, it was that bad. And then around that period, I was like, okay, you know what? I have to do something about this. I can't be feeling this just because my phone is bad. Like, what? I don't even eat it. Like, it's not like it's food. Do you get? So I had to make conscious effort. When I got a new phone, my brother gave me his. I had to make conscious efforts to not be so attached to the phone. So people, if I used to text you at that point in time, that was the period in which I would just stop replying for some time and then reply later on, because I was trying to not be on my phone, as much. And I would make a conscious effort that every time I woke up, I wouldn't touch my phone unless I had done something productive. Maybe I had prayed or done Bible study, or I had gone to jog, or I had arranged the room or something. I would just make sure that my phone wasn't the first thing I touched. Now I have to pick it up now because I wrote some things down. But anyway, so like, I have some pointers, some ways of nabbing a phone obsession. If you are trying to find out whether you're obsessed with your phone or your tab or your gadget or whatever, these are some things you should look out for. Number one, it is the first thing you touch when you wake up in the morning. It is, you open your social media apps. Those are the first things you handle when you wake up in the morning. Then you know that there is a serious relationship going on between you and your phone. The second thing you should note is you have the urge to post or to record or to snap or to talk about almost every single thing that crosses your mind or everything you see. Now this one is particularly weird because it tends to like interfere with moments you're supposed to enjoy. You are not looking for how you snap it or record it or write it, and I've tried my best to break out of this mentality, always recording everything. The third thing you should look out for is when you feel like you would have FOMO, fear of missing out, when you haven't glanced through your social media in a couple of hours. You're going crazy thinking, okay, what has been happening without me? Okay, you don't have data, you couldn't buy, you had to wait, and then you're being frantic that something has happened without you. You should check yourself. Then number 4, you spend all your money on data and Wi-Fi and subscriptions and batteries and earphones. Earphones. That one is another one. You spend all your cash, everything, on getting everything you need for your phone. Then there is something wrong. Number 5, when your phone spoils, you die. or you want to die. I can relate. Even that something is weird. If you're having breathing problem because your phone has fault, then you should get yourself checked out, friend. Yeah. And then number 6, when all your opinions, all your ideologies are formulated by what you have seen on social media, you don't have any stance of your own. So everything you know and you believe in is from social media. You know that there is a problem. Number 7, when you don't have a life outside your phone or outside your Instagram or outside your social media, everything about you is on there. Everything on there is what is about you. You don't exist in quote outside your phone or your social media. Then you know that there is a big problem. Now, one of the ways to take care of this, or one of the ways to begin cutting yourself off from this obsession, is through social media fasting. That's the second part. Now, what exactly is a social media fast? It is just taking some time away from your social media or your phone or whatever, and just breathing, listening to everything else but your phone. Actually, the main purpose is to listen to God, but then why, you ask, aside from the fact that it is really helpful, why should I do a social media fast? Well, it can be one reason, but then it's 3. First one is the world is very noisy. The internet is very noisy. A lot of people are saying a lot of things at the same time, most of them contradictory. Number 2, this noise is very influential. And number 3, God is always speaking. So when your mind is cluttered with all the confusing noise from everywhere, it might be difficult for you to pick out what God is saying, especially when your garbage in and garbage out is your phone and the internet and not the word of God. Then it's difficult to recognize his voice, because then it's only the people online that you recognize, it's only your social media you recognize. You get? So like, that is why, so that you can just hush up everybody else and focus on what exactly is important. I'm going to read a scripture that I think is very helpful. Romans 12 verse 1 to 2 in the Amplified. And if you know the Amplified, you will know that there are a lot of words. That's why I have to read it verbatim. Now, I appeal to you, therefore, brethren, and beg of you, in view of all the mercies of God, to make a decisive dedication of your bodies, in bracket, presenting all your members and faculties, as a living sacrifice, wholly devoted, consecrated, and well-pleasing to God, which is your reasonable, in bracket, rational and intelligent service and spiritual worship. Verse 2, do not be conformed to this world, this age, fashioned after and adapted to its external superficial customs, and be transformed, changed by the entire renewal of your mind, by its new ideals and its new attitude. Yeah, so that you may prove for yourself. So you may prove for yourself what is good and acceptable and perfect will of God, even the thing which is good and acceptable and perfect in his sight for you. So basically what this is saying is, it's time to like take a break, just shut everything out, yeah, and then when you do that, you are able to distill what God is saying, because then you are able to hear him clearly above all the noise. Are we together? So now it is important to know what you will be replacing your social media with. So when you decide that, okay, you're going to go on a social media fast, or you're going to take a break off your social media, delete all your apps or whatever, what are you going to be doing in the meantime? You can't just be staring at the ceiling, because then the idle mind is the devil's workshop, though. So you cannot just be idle. You gotta find something to do. You gotta find something to replace all your social media with. And that's why it's important to fill your time with Bible study, with prayer, with hanging out with people that will edify you. Read a book, hone your personal skills. You can draw, you can paint, you can, okay, well, I was about to say you can code, but then coding involves gadget and just do something else aside from staring and clicking at your phone. And the most important thing is that you are in constant communication with God. So that way you are able to realign your mind with what is actually correct and what's actually important, and you're not influenced by diverse opinions. So we know that the social media is helpful. We know that the internet itself is a tremendous help, but at the same time it is extremely time consuming, and it can be very influential to you. So it's important that you are influenced by the right thing. Yeah. So I believe that is all. And oh yes, if you can't just take a week, some people do a week, 3 days, some people do a month of social media. If that's too drastic for the kind of situation you are in, then you can start by doing a day-to-day fast, like the one I did, where you train yourself every morning or particular hours to not be on your phone to do something productive. And if you feel like you have a few hours to spare in the day, wow, I need to stop scratching. If you feel like you have a few hours to spare in the day, you can get this app. It's called Flipped, FLIPD. You can hide your apps for a few hours. It's really helpful. It will hide itself as well, so you're not able to access your apps until the hours that you set are up. So that's a good way to start, so that you can just do something other than be on your phone. That way, when you pick up your phone, you don't see anything. It's like your phone is new again, but then all the apps are hidden, so you can't access anything until the hours are over. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you were able to see why a social media fast is needed. I hope you were able to determine if you are obsessed with your phone or not. And I just hope you were blessed in general. So if you were, please give me a thumbs up and share and comment, and keep living and loving like Jesus. I will see you